Good morning, I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day. Now, I've been buying myself some new toys recently, and as a result of that, it is time for yet another riveting episode of taking stuff out of unopened boxes. My special guest today is this. This is the Korg MS20 Mini. It is a semi-modular monophonic analog synthesizer. I have wanted one of these for months, and I'm so happy to now say that I finally made the purchase. It's such a cool synthesizer. If you don't know anything about it, the MS20 was like an iconic synthesizer back in like the 70s and the 80s. This is the reissue version of that synthesizer, so as many of the original parts were used as possible. Some of them weren't able to be used due to like legal reasons. It's also only 86% of the size of the original, hence the name Mini. It's got really good reviews, and as someone who is very interested in synthesis and I kind of know the basics, I want to get a little bit more into it. I want to understand it from a more in-depth level, and I really think that this was the perfect synthesizer to get due to its semi-modular nature. Now, they released a monochrome white version of this fairly recently, and I saw it in the music shop that I bought this, and I really just didn't like it very much. Korg, on the off chance that you're watching this, the things that I would change about the white version, things that would have made me buy it instead of ordering in specifically one of the black versions, is make the white of the body of the synthesizer the same white as the keys, and either make the end pieces white or give them like a wood finish. That would look really nice. If it was like a wood finished side panels to it, and all the knobs, imagine if they were wood finished as well, or at least if the knobs were black and then the body was white. When I looked at it, because I did genuinely consider just getting that one instead of the black one, but it just looked kind of like a fake Apple product or something. It didn't have the same iconic look that this one did. Obviously, with any synthesizer, it's not about how it looks, it's about how it sounds, but if you're going to release something that the only change you've made to it is an aesthetic one, you need to make it look nice. Anyway, let's open this up. So I'm just going to cut along there. There we go. So I don't know how well you can see that, but that's what it looks like when you first open the box. So in the sides here we've got our patch cables, 3.5mm auxiliary cables effectively for patching. They've included 10 of these cables, which is really nice. They could have easily scrimped out on money and only included like 5 or 6, but it's good to get a good amount of patch cables for this. Don't know what this box is, probably the power supply, I imagine. Yep, that is the power cable there. Some documentation here, I assume it's just an instruction manual and a setting example, so that's useful. And this is the synthesizer itself. Nice to see that it's well protected. It shouldn't get damaged in transit or anything like that. Ah, look at that. That's amazing. It's so sexy. So this is what the synthesizer looks like when you get it out of the box. This is honestly so cool. I'm so happy to finally have one of these. So let's get it set up and hear how it sounds. So this is the front panel of the synthesizer. It looks exactly the same as the front panel on the original MS20. The only difference being, as I said earlier, that the patch section here uses 3.5mm patch cables instead of the original 1/4 inch. The only thing that actually surprised me about this is that the signal output of the whole unit is also a 3.5mm. I kind of thought that it would be a 1/4 inch for the main output of the synth. In terms of build quality, it's really nice. This whole unit feels really solid and sturdy. The only thing that I've seen other people complaining about is that the knobs are slightly kind of flimsy and a bit wobbly, which is definitely the case with some of them, but not all of them. So yeah, you've got your 2 oscillators here, followed by the VCO mixer, which is where you can control exactly how much of each oscillator signal is being let through. High pass filter and low pass filter with peak controls there, which is effectively resonance. Portamento control, master tune. There's a wheel here as well that you can assign on the patch bay to control various different parameters. There's a little button slightly out of shot just there, and then the keyboard here, which is not mini keys, but it's not full size either. I think it's slim keys is what it's officially called. I get on with them absolutely fine. I've never really had any problem with these. Mini keys can be really annoying, but I've got the mini log and that's got the same keybed, so it seems to be fine. Here you've got various modulation controls for the pitch, the high pass filter and the low pass filter. Modulation generator here, envelope generator 1 and envelope generator 2 there. You've also got this section here, which is for external signal processing, which is really useful. And one of the cool things about this synth is that you can actually route external audio through it. So if you want to get the sound of the filters on a previously existing piece of audio, you can run it straight into here and then out of here. So let's turn it on and have a listen to how it sounds. So that's the basic sawtooth. We can change the octave here. It's such a full sound. This is the first properly kind of fully analog synthesizer I've ever had. The Minilog has got DCOs in it, which means that there is an audible difference between that and this, and it just sounds so nice. You can hear how the filter affects the waveform if I change these. So that's a sawtooth wave. You've also got triangle, square. You can change the width of the square wave as well, which is quite nice. Let's add the second oscillator in. So it's an octave up still on the sawtooth wave. Now, one of the things that I did notice with this is that the pitch on oscillator 2 is not quite perfect. If I have this on exactly 0, it's gross, right? So it needs to be ever so slightly down. There we go, that's perfect. I'm just going to play around with a few settings now and see if I can find a cool sound. You can hear how the modulation is being opened up in different ways with the different waveforms. It is monophonic, but because you can change the pitch on oscillator 2, you can effectively turn it into a duophonic synth. Increase the frequency of the modulation. Now, a synthesizer by itself is fantastic. You can get some great sounds from them, but really you do need to add some effects to them to get them to kind of really shine, especially if you're putting them in a track. You can use plugins in your DAW if you want to. It really doesn't matter. It's just you'll be amazed at how much life a bit of reverb or delay will add to the sound of a synthesizer. So when I bought this synth, I also got myself the Strymon Big Sky reverb unit. It is a fantastic reverb pedal, and I'll just show you now how much difference a little bit of this will make to the sound of the synthesizer. This thing is fucking awesome. So in conclusion, I think that the Korg MS20 Mini is an absolutely awesome, fantastic synth, especially considering what you get and the price that you're paying for it. I know I didn't go into very much detail then about the patching capabilities and all of that stuff, but in all honesty, I haven't quite figured all of this out yet. There are certain things that are really, really complicated over here, and I didn't want to try and demo something when I didn't understand it fully myself. However, one of the really cool things that Korg have done is they've included, as well as a kind of general manual, they've got a booklet here of settings examples. This is effectively a guide sheet into how to get various different types of sound out of the synth. There are loads of them in here. It's really useful. It'll really help you get a good understanding of how synthesis works in general. And I've discovered since having it, because it's been a couple of days since I shot the unboxing section of this, having a tactile physical surface that you can use to change the parameters really just makes it so easy to understand what is going on inside one of these machines. So if you are thinking about getting into synthesis, I would massively recommend getting an MS20 Mini, and get the white one if you want it. The only issue that I've seen with this so far is that it's already getting a little bit dusty. That's something that wouldn't have been so much of a problem with the white one, or at least you wouldn't have been able to see it so much. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a dust cover for it. I think you can buy them online. So yeah, that's my unboxing and overview of the Korg MS20 Mini. great machine. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this. I'm sorry if you found it boring and uninteresting and you're not into this techie stuff. I apologize for that. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I've spoken about in this video. If you've got one of these yourself and want to talk about some of your experiences with it, whether you agree with what I've said or you disagree, I might have got something wrong. Please correct me if I f***ed up and said something that was just completely incorrect. Yeah, let me know all of that stuff down in the comment section. Thank you again for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed this. Have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will see you very soon.